Hey everybody, Paul here with ADV for Me. Thanks for tuning in. With the cold weather upon us in my part of the country, I'm just located just outside of Toronto, Ontario in Canada. Winter is, well, not quite upon us. We've actually had some pretty nice weather, but regardless, the bike's been put away and I thought I'd take a little bit of time and just go through all of my gear. So if you are actually looking for minimalist ideas and ways to shave an ounce here and an ounce there, this is definitely not going to be your video. But if you enjoy the overall experience of camping and enjoy the comfort items maybe a little bit, this might be for you. So stay tuned. So before we get into what I bring, I'm going to get into how I pack it. So I'm on a Yamaha Tenere 700, and when I purchased my bike, it came equipped with the hard boxes, which I'm not going to lie, I do like, but I am on the fence right now about switching over to Moscow. I have had a few close calls with dabbing and getting the box in the back of my boot a couple of times, and it can be painful. But I do like the fact that it gives you a ton of space, and they're super easy to gain access to, and they're also very secure. What I'm working with, I'll show you here right here now. I've got these bad boys here. They do have a little bit of wear and tear on them, but these are my boxes. And while I have this out, I'll just show you what I've done on both of my boxes. I've actually added MSR fuel bottles. These are mountain bike cage holders, bottle holders, which actually have a screw down that actually tighten. And what I've done is I've added the stretchy elastic part of a RockShox onto the top of the lid, which helps secure it in place. So when I'm going over obstacles and just doing what we do, the bottles aren't shaking and can't come out. So this gives me an additional 2 liters of fuel, and honestly, I've only had to dip into a bottle once. So anyways, I've got those guys, and then what I also have, so I keep my tent, my comfort gear, all my camp gear in that, and then what I have on the back of the bike, I've got the Divi top box. This is the smaller one, and this is my kitchen. So inside here, I'll have all of my cooking utensils, my cookware, and my food. And then I've also added, again, rock straps. Gotta love rock straps. I've added a couple of these to the top of this rack, which is a separate item that you can purchase to put wet shoes on or anything that I need to dry out while we're riding. In addition to that, I have this SW Motec, I believe it's a 26 liter bag. I think that's what the 260 means. I have this, which sits just behind my back, and I keep all my clothes, my sandals, and anything that I need to gain really quick access to in here. And then I've got this cargo strap as well on top, which is obviously just super convenient when you hit a store, you want to stuff some food in there, a bottle of water, you're good to go. So speaking of water, obviously hydration is super, super important. I do bring bottles of water with me. I haven't been in a situation where I've had to use river or use filtered water or filter my own water, so I don't have that equipment in my setup because I haven't had to. I haven't been that remote as of yet. And also in terms of hydration, what I will bring in addition to this, this here is what, 3 liter, this is a Hydro Pack. I'll fill this up sometimes and put that on the back of my top box. But what I do for my daily consumption while we're on the road, I've got the SW Motec tank bag here, which I absolutely love. And what I've done is I've actually added inside, let me just pull this out here. I've got this here, so these here just are magnetized onto the top here. So when I'm riding the bike, I can actually grab the tube and get a sip of water from it. And this inside here, I think it's 1.5 liters of water, this bag. Let me just get this out of here. So I've got this guy here inside, and it holds actually 2 liters. So this fits absolutely perfect inside the bottom of the bag and still allows me room to add battery backups, my GoPro, gear and gloves, lens spray, all that stuff, because this actually has an expandable portion here, which makes it a bit taller. So yeah, while we're talking about that bag, I thought we'd just cover the hydration. Gotta stay hydrated, super important. Okay, so diving into my kitchen setup, I try to keep all of the heavy items as low as possible on the bike. And yes, some of the items that I have in my kitchen setup, I could probably put lower down. But in terms of function and easy access, I absolutely love having my kitchen and all my camera equipment inside the box. Again, it's super easy to get to, it's secure, and it works great. So diving into the kitchen, my kitchen's pretty basic setup. I do enjoy cooking, so I'm not just doing bag meals. I'm a big fan of the Jetboil. Now, in addition to the Jetboil, I've purchased the additional little mounting plate here that you can use for cooking on. If you wanted to use a fry pan on top of the burner, you can, which is great. This I've had no problems with. I do sometimes bring a little pocket stove, a little pocket rocket, just as a backup, just in case I'm having issues with the Jetboil. But I've had nothing but good luck with that. In terms of my cookware, my bowl, I'm a big fan of Sea to Summit. So this is my kit up here. So what I have here, from the top, I have I think it's 5 ounce. It's not very big, but it's enough. I have this guy here, this little cup. I have my bowl, which is great because it's got a lid on it, which is great because you can use it for storage if you needed to, if you've got some leftover food, which typically never happens. You got this guy here. I have the pot, which again, love this design. This obviously has the strainer in it as well, which is great if you're boiling pasta or anything. And then I have the frying pan, which I've used many times and it's still in absolutely pristine condition. And then I've got their plate as well. So in addition to that, I have obviously my forks, my knives. I've got a little package here which contains, we've got spices, we've got tongs, and I've got my Sea to Summit. Again, Sea to Summit. I've got their super light titanium fork, knife, and spoon set. I've got soap suds, salt and pepper, the basics. In addition to that, I have kitchen sink. So this here is a 10-liter pouch bag that just opens up and you can use it to do dishes, which is super convenient. And I don't know about you, but when I'm on the road, I need to have my caffeine. And while it's not the cheapest option in terms of the actual serving size or servings for coffee, I'm a big fan of the Nespresso pods. And for that, I have the Wakeko Nanopresso. So this guy here actually has the NS capsules adapter on it. I'm actually in the process, I've ordered it already. I'm waiting for the PicoPresso to come. Because I'm only using these here, the pods, the PicoPresso is a little bit smaller than this, and apparently they've made some refinements to it, but I'm looking forward to trying out the PicoPresso. So that, I think, in terms of kitchen, covers the basics of what I bring. And again, my choice of gear really doesn't change whether it's a 4-day trip or a 10-day trip. I tend to bring the same thing for all of my trips. Now, in terms of my tent and my sleeping gear, I don't have my tent here with me. It's in the garage right now, but I've got a Marmot Tungsten 2P. It's been a fantastic tent. I've been on the fence. I've been thinking about getting a new tent, but I keep on going back thinking, why waste the money? Because this one's been it's been a great tent. I would like to get something a bit smaller, or at least have the shorter poles like the Big Agnes. Anyway, I'm sure you all know what it is. I'm looking forward to maybe trying out that one day. So in terms of sleeping, I do have a segment at the end, which I'm gonna call my luxury items or my extra comfort section or items. I use the Nemo Tensor. This is the long wide, and again, it's just great having that little bit of comfort between you and the ground. I do have 2 different sleeping bags. Again, it depends on the weather, but typically this is the one that I bring. Nothing fancy. This is the Chinook Technical Outdoor. This is good for 50 degrees, 10 to 50 degrees. And then I've got a Nemo Disco, which is my colder weather sleeping bag. It's obviously a lot bigger than this, and I've only actually brought it on 1 trip so far, but these 2 items here keep me really comfortable at night, and I'll show you what my comfort items do to help me get this to the next level. Okay, so in terms of other gear, lighting, and just regular camp gear, I'll get into some of those details now. I'll start with lighting. So I'm a bit of a sucker for lighting, and I tend to bring too many lighting devices, but I've narrowed it down to a few things that I've been really, really happy with and couldn't imagine heading out the door without. The first one is this inexpensive little guy here, which I got, which is actually, this one here just hangs up in my tent. This one here takes 3 AAA batteries. It's not rechargeable, but you do get a lot of use out of 3 AAA batteries in this. What I like about this light here is it's got a couple different settings, but it also when you turn it off, it glows in the dark, so you're not going from bright to complete darkness. It does give enough glow to give you a bit of ambient light, and it's great that it's obviously collapsible. Also, too, at nighttime, if we're riding at night and we need to pull over and get something out of the top box of the kitchen, whether it be either food, snacks, water, or maybe one of the camera batteries or something like that. I've got this little guy here, which is made by BioLite, and it is perfect little light, and it just basically, on the lid of my top box, it actually Velcros in like that. So when I pop it up, turn that on, it lights up my whole top box, and I'm able to find what I'm looking for. So this is a great little light. In a pinch, you can use this to actually charge your cell phone. And then lighting, so I bring two different headlamps. I've got the Petzl Attic Core, I believe it is. This one here, it's got the rechargeable pack in it, so I can recharge it on the bike if I needed to, or recharge it off of one of the two 20,000 milliamp, nope, 10,000 milliamp battery packs that I do have. This guy here, again, lasts quite a while. In addition to that one, I have this one here is, I think it's a German company called LED Lenser. And this guy here, while it's a bit bigger, this thing here is bright. It's great because you can actually use this focus ring to create a tight beam, or you can have a huge flood. And this is the brightest headlamp that I've ever seen. It's super, super bright. Not inexpensive, but to me, it's worth it. So that covers lighting. And then we get into just, obviously, I like to bring, obviously, my hatchet. I do bring a Gomboy saw. Got this bad boy here. These things here make light work of branches, anything's across a trail, obviously to a point, but this thing here, you can get through a tree like that in no time with this. It's like butter. And then I've got this guy here, just a knife in a sheath, goes on my belt loop. And then I haven't had to use this yet, thankfully, but I do have a can of bear spray, which I wasn't aware you can't cross the border with this. Did not know that. I didn't have it when I did my last trip, which was the MABDR, but the people at MEC made me aware that you can't cross the border with that. So good to know. And then obviously wouldn't be camping without being eaten alive. I've got two different types of bug spray, which I bring. I've had great luck with this, this stuff here. This brand, is it High Active? I don't know. This stuff keeps the bugs away. Does a great job. And then we get into, I also have obviously rope. So a couple of things I don't have here right now. Again, my tent's not with me. I do bring a fishing rod, collapsible one. I don't have it here, it's in the garage, but I will bring that along with a small assortment of lures, which is great. And then obviously first aid kit. This is the Surviveware. This is probably their smallest kit, but it does have a lot in it. And I don't leave home without that. So from there, I think that's really it in terms of the regular, oh, and one other thing too I'm going to talk about. So in this bag here, I keep all my clothes in there, and I've learned that I've always typically brought too much clothing in terms of everything. So I narrowed it down now typically to bringing 2 pairs of pants, a pair of shorts, 3 pair, basically a pair of underwear for every 2 days, because you can wash them out in a pinch if you need to. I don't bring shavers. I don't mind coming back looking like a grizzly bear. I just bring just the basics: toothbrush, soap, deodorant, and that's basically it in terms of hygiene. What else was I going to say? Oh, let's get into some of the comfort items that I like to bring, because I like to be comfortable. So in terms of the luxury items, I won't necessarily say that a camp chair is a luxury item. I mean, to some it is. Some are fine sitting on their pannier or a log or on the ground. Personally, again, one of the items that I won't leave without, this is not one of the better brands, but it's the first chair that I bought to try out, and said to myself, if I enjoy this type of chair, I'll spend the money, get a better one, but I haven't really found the reason to, because this one works just fine. I got it on Amazon, maybe $35, $40, and it's been perfect. Yeah, it's a little bit heavier than some of the other leading brands, but I've been very happy with that chair. This one here, this is my pillow. So I used to carry around, I don't even know where it is. Oh, this is my old pillow. Okay, this was like one of those inflatable pillows. You blow her up. First one. This is my new pillow. So I've got it crammed into this Outdoor Research dry sack here. And this pillow, I don't know, it's Thermarest. I don't know the name of it, but MEC sells it. You can get it online. This pillow feels just like home. And it's great because it's got this adjuster here on the back here. You can slide this, and it's got basically 2 splines of cable of elastic that run down here that firm the pillow up. So if you like it nice and soft, you can leave it wide open. If you like it nice and hard, you can pull her tight, and she makes it a little bit more firm. But this pillow, man, I'm telling you, I would give up my chair. I'd give up my chair over this. This pillow, I love it. It's been on with me now for 3 trips, and it's my favorite thing. Now, the next 2 items I'm probably gonna get ridiculed about, but I don't care. I enjoy the ride, but I also enjoy the camping portion, and I love my sleep. So I have, wait for it. I'll pull up a picture too and show you what this is, what it looks like set up. I have this cot. Again, this is an off-brand cot. I said to myself, if I like it, I'll spend the money and get myself a better version of it. But again, it's been great. I haven't had any issues with it, and it's been on a lot of trips. So this cot gets me up off the ground about 5 inches, 4.5, 5 inches. And what's great about that, obviously, if it's colder, you're up off the ground. If you're in a lot of water, you're up off the ground. But what it also allows me to do is use the full footprint for laying out my gear. So if my jacket, I want to put my jacket in the tent, I can lay it out underneath, my pants underneath. It's great because, you know, in a 2-man tent, you don't have a whole lot of real estate left over once you've got your sleeping arrangement set up. So this, yes, it weighs about 5 or 6 pounds. I love it. I've been close to leaving it home on a couple of trips, but it's made its way into the box. Down low, nice and low. I also have one of those small little collapsible tables. Again, this is just like a little guy here that folds down to pretty much nothing. This thing only weighs about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Again, off-brand, don't care. Love it, works great. It's nice having it right out front of the tent, making coffee in the morning. If it's raining out, it's great because you're right there. And then this one, so a buddy of mine busted out this one trip, and it was July, August, and it was hot. No movement, tents were so hot. And he pulls this out. I'm like, what in the hell is this? So this has 3 different light levels. It's got 3-speed fan, and its thing lasts the entire night. And you can charge it on the bike during the day. So again, this is more for hot weather camping, but honestly, for the space it takes, it fits right in the very top of my pannier box. This thing it's awesome. So I'm a bit of a comfort guy. Again, I mean, there's things in here that you probably have, 100% have, and there's things in here that you probably wouldn't be found dead with. But this is just what I roll with, and I just thought I'd take half an hour and just kind of go through everything that I carry quickly. A couple items that I know I'm missing right now. Some of my rope, I didn't cover that. My lanyard, my bungee cords that I use to stretch across trees for hanging stuff. I do have a hammock, but I just find that by the end of the day, I don't have time to set it up and relax after doing all the camp part. So I haven't done that yet. I do prefer sleeping in a tent over doing the whole hammock camping, the hammock sleeping. And yeah, oh, one more thing, tech. So I do also bring my GoPro. I got a Hero 9, and then I have it in this bag here, which has, I wear it on my helmet. I've got batteries. I also have a Hero 7 as well as backup, which I can also bar mount for getting another vantage point. And I also, not in this case, but we've been to some pretty amazing areas where it's just super great to have a drone in your kit. So I have a smaller case that the Mini 3 fits in, along with the controller and the batteries, just to try and capture more of some of the landscape that we ride through. So something here that I've missed or you can suggest, I'd love to hear from you. So that's about it, guys. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care, have a good day.